What if the busyness of life keeps you from hearing what truly matters? What if service can sometimes distract from presence? And what if the greatest gift we can give is simply our attention to Jesus? In Luke 10:38-42, we encounter one of the most relatable stories in the Gospels, the visit of Jesus to the home of Martha and Mary. This passage offers a profound lesson about priorities, worship, and the tension between doing and being. Martha opens her home to Jesus, a gesture of hospitality and care. She moves quickly, preparing food, arranging the space, and ensuring everything is perfect for her honored guest. She is diligent, responsible, and committed to serving. Yet her service, though well-intentioned, begins to weigh heavily on her heart. She notices her sister Mary sitting at Jesus' feet, listening, not helping. Frustration rises. She approaches Jesus, asking, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." Martha's concern is understandable. Hosting a teacher like Jesus is no small task, and the work required to honor him properly can feel overwhelming. Her heart is in the right place, but her focus has shifted. Service has become a source of stress rather than an act of devotion. Mary's approach contrasts sharply. She chooses to sit at Jesus' feet, absorbing his words, listening deeply, and allowing his presence to guide her. She prioritizes relationship over duty, attention over distraction, and spiritual nourishment over practical concerns. Her choice exemplifies the posture of a learner, one who recognizes that presence with Jesus carries more value than busyness. Jesus responds gently but clearly, addressing Martha's concern. He acknowledges her devotion and effort, affirming that her service is not wrong. But he also points out what is truly necessary. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. This statement is revolutionary. It is not a dismissal of work or responsibility, but a reminder that spiritual priorities must take precedence over worldly preoccupations. The lesson resonates deeply with modern life. Many of us juggle responsibilities, tasks, and expectations. Work, family, social obligations, and even church duties can consume our attention. We can become so busy doing good things that we miss the greatest thing: presence with God. Martha's story reminds us that devotion is measured not only by action, but by attention. True worship includes listening, learning, and being with Jesus, not just serving him. Mary's posture of attentiveness teaches us that sometimes the most spiritual act is not doing more, but being fully present. Sitting, listening, and absorbing God's words may seem passive, but it is an active choice to prioritize relationship over duty. Her example encourages us to evaluate our own lives. Are we so busy serving that we neglect our time with God? Are we allowing distraction to steal moments of spiritual growth and connection? This passage also reminds us that service and presence are not mutually exclusive, but must be balanced. Martha's concern was valid. Hospitality and service honor God. But the imbalance in her focus created frustration. When devotion becomes task-oriented rather than heart-centered, stress replaces joy, and obligation replaces worship. Jesus' gentle correction provides a roadmap. Balance your service with intentional attention to him. Let your work flow from relationship, not replace it. Furthermore, the story challenges cultural expectations. In Martha's time, hospitality was a woman's duty, and the act of preparing a home for a guest was socially and religiously significant. Mary's choice to sit and listen defied cultural norms, prioritizing spiritual learning over social expectation. Similarly, in today's world, choosing time with God over productivity, over societal pressure to do more, can feel countercultural, but is spiritually essential. This story also underscores the permanence of spiritual choice. Jesus says that Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Her decision to prioritize listening and relationship with him has eternal significance. The lesson extends beyond the moment. Moments spent in presence with God bear fruit that transcends tasks, duties, and achievements. Reflecting on this passage, we are invited to examine our own hearts. Are we like Martha, anxious and distracted by good things, forgetting the best? Are we like Mary, willing to sit, listen, and allow Jesus' words to transform us? The call is not to abandon responsibility, but to reorient it around the eternal. Presence with God shapes our service, infuses our work with purpose, and grounds our daily lives in what truly matters. In practical terms, this might mean carving intentional time for prayer, meditation on scripture, or simply sitting in God's presence without agenda. It may require saying no to busyness, multitasking, or constant productivity. It could involve choosing relationship over obligation in moments that demand our attention. Mary's choice invites us to cultivate a posture of listening, receptivity, and spiritual attentiveness. Ultimately, the story of Martha and Mary is timeless because it addresses a universal tension, the pull between doing and being, work and worship, obligation and devotion. Jesus' words remind us that while service is important, nothing can replace focused, heartfelt presence with Him. In our hurried, task-driven culture, this parable calls us to pause, to prioritize, and to embrace the transformative power of simply being with Jesus. Thank you for watching this video. If this message inspired reflection or encouraged you to reorient your priorities, please like the video, follow the Holy Path Insights channel for more Bible-based teachings, and share this video with someone who may need a reminder that presence with God is the greatest devotion of all.